The self-hosted version of WordPress also offers an additional field for categories, link categories, and tags. The slug field enables you to set custom text to appear in URLs when you enable custom permalinks. Let's take a look at what this is all about. So here's a WordPress.com categories administration panel. And as you can see in this area here, which is where you would add your category, you have category name, parent, and description. But if you go to a self-hosted WordPress blog, you'll see that there's actually 4 options here: category name, category slug, parent, and description. What the slug is it's a URL-friendly version of the name. If you don't put in a slug, WordPress will automatically create one for you. So let's just give this a try. Say I want to create a category called Books to Read. What'll happen, and then I'm pressing tab, I'm going down, and I can make a description down here, whatever. Maybe I want to call it Books for the Kids to Put on Their Reading Lists. There's going to be no parent for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this category by clicking Add Category. And what WordPress will automatically do is it will create a slug for this. So if I go into Edit on this, you'll see that they've created a slug that says Books to Read. What they basically do is they take out the spaces, replace them with dash, and remove any punctuation, make it all lowercase. Maybe I want to use a different name for this. Maybe I just want to call it just To Read, maybe with all one word, To Read. I can do that by just changing the category slug, or I could have entered that slug when I created the category. When I click Update Category, it will update it, and then that will be used in URLs. Now, I want to point out here that this is the categories administration panel. You also have this in the tags administration panel. You have the ability to put in a tag slug. And you also have, for link categories, you can have a category slug for that as well. Now, all of these are used in the permalink settings if you decide to use permalinks. And let me talk a little bit more about that. To set that up, this is an option that is not available on WordPress.com. You would go under Settings, and you would choose Permalinks. And it comes up with the permalink settings. What this does is it determines how the links for your pages and your posts will automatically be created. So by default, it uses a numbering scheme, $P equals 1, 2, 3, or P equals whatever. The number there is the number of the document. So posts and pages are numbered. They have an internal numbering system that normally we don't see. But if you want to change this scheme so that it makes sense, so you've got URLs that you can read them and understand what they're talking about, you can use these different options here to choose one of the predefined structures. So for example, maybe you want to use month and name. That's the one I usually use in my blogs. It'll have your URL, your domain name, followed by the year, the month, and then a URL-friendly version of the post name. And that works with the post slug. Post slugs, by the way, are available on both WordPress.com and on a WordPress server installation. So this would make a lot more sense to somebody looking at your URL than this. So you could choose different options here. You can also create a custom structure by using various codes that WordPress provides, and you can get more information about that on the WordPress.org support pages. But if you wanted to create a custom format, more custom than these, you could type the correct codes in and get that. While we're in here, I do want to mention 2 other things. The category base and the tag base. What this does is it enables you to include additional text for category or tag archive pages. In this example that they're showing here, if you put the word topics in here instead of category as the default name in here, but if you type the word topics in here, then every time that you go to a category archive page, it's going to include the word topics before the category name, just as you see here. If you left that out, it would be category used instead of the word topics. But you can make it say department, you can make it say basically anything you like. And the same thing goes with tags, except it works with tag archive pages. This could be useful if you don't like to use the word category, if you want to use the word topic, but it isn't exactly standard for WordPress, so a lot of people wouldn't be expecting it. I made this change here to the month and name, and I'm going to save that because I want to show us how these URLs look. So I'm going to click Save Changes here, and then I'm going to go to the site, And you'll see here's our different posts. I'm going to click on the name of one of these posts here. And you'll see here that it uses the URL, which is the domain name, the year, the month, and then the slug for the post. Let's find another one here. We'll look at the previous one. The previous one has a short custom slug, which is just story time. So you get the idea here how the slugs work. And the way the slugs work for categories is it would automatically insert the category name in here, but it would use the slug that you determined. So the slug field makes it possible to enter a custom label for a category, link category, or tag that may be used in custom permalinks, which you could set up in the Permalinks Setting Administration panel. This makes it possible to customize and simplify URLs across your blog.